Hello, captains in Flight Sim World. This is Kent again. And with the release of Prepared version 4, I'm kind of rediscovering some of the things that were in the core game between it and Flight Simulator 10. And so I was doing some research and looking for sightseeing things that were in Flight Simulator 10. And it goes as far back as Flight Simulator 2004. And I'm going out there and seeing if it's actually in Prepared 3D version 4. So this is a nice adventure that I think the not new flight sim people are going to enjoy, but also the veterans. I don't know how many people remember this or even looked at it, but this is wild. With the new lighting effects for Prepared, we're going to go and investigate on the island of Hawaii. We're going to investigate the eruption of Volcano Kilauea. So let's just get started. We are taking off from Hilo International Airport, or PHTO, and what we will do is as soon as we take off, you will climb to a flight level of 5,000 feet and then turn to a heading of 204. It's really a great effect to do this adventure at night because the eruption is, for lack of a better term, it's a sight to see. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get our autopilot going, and we're going to go up to 5,000 feet, setting it right here, and we're going to turn to a heading of, here with a gentle climb, raise our flaps. We're going to turn to a heading of 204. Okay, so as we are climbing out, I'll give you a little bit of information on this volcano as soon as I can go ahead and get my autopilot going. Good. We'll do a nice gentle climb of 1,500 feet per minute, and we'll get this on a heading of 204. Okay, so that should do it. Everything looking good. Yeah. Okay. So let me tell you a little about this. Flight Simulator had a lot of Easter eggs and eye candy, but I never really looked at Prepared 3D to see if they mirrored the same thing, because remember now, Prepared and Flight Simulator 10, Flight Simulator Steam Edition, are all built upon on top of the same Flight Simulator engine. So the old adventures, when I was looking on the internet, were saying that, yeah, do this at nighttime, and they had no idea the new lighting effects for Prepared, flying out of Honolulu, not Honolulu, but Hilo International. Oh my gosh, that rendering is absolutely beautiful. But okay, so you're going to be doing a night approach on this volcano, so you're not going to see a lot until you fly up on it. But I wanted to just give you a little look at the eye candy from taking off from Hilo International, and now we're going to break, and let's come back when we're flying up on this volcano. Okay, we're en route to the volcano Kilauea, and I thought I would use this opportunity to give you a little information about this volcano. So it had exposed lava about 2,800 years ago, but the volcano is anywhere from 300,000 to 600,000 years old. But it crested sea level approximately 100,000 years ago. Now, let me tell you what you're going to need to do to see this. And I'm going off of the notes that I found on the internet. The first thing is the eruption for this volcano took place in 1983. So you need to go to your time and date setting and change it to the year. I don't think the month matters so much, but you need to change it to the year 1983. Then, when you leave Hilo International, turn to a heading of, again, 204, and you're going to fly for about 23 nautical miles, and it's going to appear over in the distance. Now, make sure you make that 203 immediate, because there is an elevation of a mountain off to, I believe you're right. Can't see it right now because, you know, we're at night. I guess I should turn on the terrain function on the GPS, and that might help elude it. I'm not familiar with this GPS, so I might not even hit the right button, but let's take a look real fast. Is terrain on some of them? It's actually just right in there for everybody to see, but it's not. So yeah, I know I'm a noob with this airplane, but that's okay. Just make sure you immediately take your heading at 204 degrees. You're going to be fine, and we'll come right back as soon as we're about to approach the volcano. By the way, I will say this: go ahead now and set your VOR to 116.90. Because you can fly back to Hilo International and do a night approach, which is a really nice challenge to finish out this particular adventure. Alright, see you at the volcano. Okay, we're back, and now we have the volcano over here in the distance. It's off to our right. As you can see, the lava flow comes up. It should be popping up any second now. Yep, there it is. And what is really amazing about doing this approach with the new lighting effects, I remember seeing this eruption. I think I did it in Flight Simulator 10 Steam Edition, or maybe back when it was 2000, just Flight Simulator 10. The lighting effects did not look remotely as good as this. As you can see, you have your lava coming out and all of the ejection of the solid material, and then, you know, the steam gas that's being expelled from the volcano. The lighting effects just make it beautiful. It's just, I'm just going to be honest, it's kind of making me fall in love with Flight Simulator and Prepared all over again. I mean, I enjoyed it, but now it's like, here's the major difference between Prepared and Flight Simulator in terms of, I don't know, how do I say this, offerings. Flight Simulator had adventures that went along with the program, because it gave you achievements and missions to engage in, which I think is really, for some people who are into achievement-based learning, that's a big deal. But Prepared is more of training for commercial aircraft. So the whole thing about enjoyment in terms of how would I say this? In terms of just entertainment, yeah, they weren't going that route. So you kind of just had the purpose of finding your own missions, and they don't have the missions that are released like Flight Simulator, which is unfortunate because I really do like doing those adventures. But so having this sightseeing tours now, you can just make your own adventures. Find these things in the Flight Simulator world. I say that generally because you might be doing it in Prepared, you might be doing it in, Flight Simulator 10 or Steam Edition, but with the new graphics that and the autogen scenery, especially if you have maybe the Orbx global scenery, that'll just add to the eye candy. Now, you're not going to see any of that at night here, but I'm going to do an approach on this maybe in the daytime just to see what it looks like as well. But I say all this to say, I'm really kind of, I don't know, it's hard to say, just falling in love with it all over again. And now it's like, okay, doing VFR visual, doing like a VFR sightseeing thing is just taking on a whole new dimension with the level of detail that this program has. So I'm looking forward to putting up a couple of other adventures. I'm thinking of doing Queen Victoria Falls, and I'm going to do some investigating and see some other things that are out there, because there could be some surprises that we just forgot about because we're moving over and doing all of the flight procedures and so on, which is, totally cool, but a lot to do. So I guess what I'll do is I'll finish this out with letting you see my approach up on Hilo International. Be right back. Okay, we're on our base leg for Hilo International, and I thought, I would just include you in on the adventure for coming in for a landing. It's kind of funny. I really just started this video out to just show you the Kilauea as the volcano eruption, But doing this at nighttime really made me appreciate what it really means to do a nighttime approach. I just took it for granted. Oh my gosh, so we got to line up here while I'm talking to you guys. Oh my gosh, come on, pay attention. I just really have taken for granted just really how immersive Prepared and Flight Simulator can be, because most of the time I fly in the daytime, unless, you know, the adventure just bleeds into night. But by doing this entire adventure at night, and particularly in general aviation aircraft, it really gives you a sense of the challenge, because right now I'm out over the ocean, and as you can see, you don't really see anything in terms of indicators of how far you are off the ground, and that's a little intimidating. But hey, this is great training, it's a great adventure, and it just really I literally was just checking out the Valcano, and I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, it is just a great time to be in Flight Simulator, regardless of whether you're an X-Plane 11 fan or a Prepared fan or a Flight Simulator fan. And you know, I want to still be a Flight Simulator fan, I really do. I really hope that Flight Sim World, you know, turns into what they're claiming it's going to turn into. I really liked Prepared and Flight Simulator being mirrors of each other. As the CEO of PMDG said, it really helped to advance. It really helped to advance the genre by them staying together, because there was this base platform they could all do development for, rather than having to change and rework everything like every couple of months or every couple of years. And I'm hoping that advantage stays with this new creation. But you know, all that being said, we will see. But okay, never mind all that. I've got to get this approach in, so I'm turning off the autopilot, and I am going to come in manually in this night approach. So we will see. Wish me luck. Okay, gear down. And flaps. I'm going to have to trim this down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, it felt like maybe the autopilot was still engaged. Now it seems that we're a little high. We're above the glide slope. So I'm going to trim that off. And I'm also... Oh my gosh. That was not opportune. I got to get rid of that button on the end of my throttle quadrant that automatically switches you to an outside view. I thought I deleted it. But okay, so we're descending as we're approaching the runway. Looks like we're a little high, so I got to come down a little bit, but that's okay. We'll reduce throttle, and we will get on the glide slope, and we will make this happen. Also seem to be a little bit off to the right. We'll get that together. All right, here. So as you can see, the lighting in the distance, I just don't know what they did, but they definitely got it together. That really looks realistic. And I don't know, it's kind of like looking back on some things that we called realistic 6 years ago, and we look at it and we go, man, that was completely cheesy. But all I can say is that this is immersive. I mean, I am literally, you know, doing this approach like, oh my gosh, I don't want to die, you know. But you know, this also gives me a real big appreciation of what it must have been like when John F. Kennedy's son had passed away from crashing in the Atlantic, because he was flying IFR, and he just basically flew into the water. That's what they ended up determining. And you really do not have any indicator of how far you are from the surface of the water. This is something, you know. But okay, so I'm still a little high, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop the nose just a wee bit and get on this glide slope. But this is looking good. I think we're gonna pull this off. I know you're rooting for me out there. But anyway, so whatever you do, it's time to upgrade. If you are in Flight Simulator 10 or Steam Edition, it's time to either get into X-Plane 11, it's time to get into Prepared version 4, or it's time to get into Flight Sim World. What I might suggest is go ahead and get into Flight Sim World and Prepared, and that way you can really enjoy everything that Flight Simulator has to offer, Flight Simulation has to offer in Prepared 4, while we're waiting on Flight Sim World to, you know, be whatever it is it's going to be. It is so hard for me to not say anything negative, but I really feel like they dropped the ball. But I'm optimistic. I mean, it isn't as though I'm a developer and I know what, you know, what's what. But I mean, gosh, if this were a football game, Prepared 4 is up by 2 touchdowns, and the release of Flight Sim World, all they did was manage to get a field goal. But hey, let me not piss them off. They might come looking for me. Okay, ooh, we are doing good. There is that lighting effect. I think it's called volumetric lighting. I don't want to say it's wrong, but whatever it is, it's looking good. All right, we're almost there. We're looking good. We're going to bring back our throttles a bit. There's the runway. Now we're going to bring in a nice flare. Oh yeah, we're rocking this. This is cutting engines. We don't want to balloon there. Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. Nice flare. Bring the nose down. Gentle landing. Okay, we have survived our nighttime adventure of checking out Kilauea. I really appreciate you all tuning in. Hey, at the end of this, I would appreciate, give me a couple of likes if you like the video, and please subscribe, share with your friends. I just came up with this tonight, but I think I might be doing a couple of more adventure videos, just rediscovering Flight Simulator. I'm using Flight Simulator in a generic term because I really mean Prepared and Flight Simulator X. And who knows, if you have X-Plane 10, I would greatly encourage you to go check out some of these same adventures and see if those landmarks are in X-Plane 10. I would really like to know if they have that eruption going on. But with all that being said, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the virtual skies.